SA Rugby postponed a special general meeting that was meant to consider a proposal to sell a 20% stake. This was in the commercial rights of the Springboks to the American sports investment firm Ackerley Sports Group. Now, the postponement was made at the request of the Sports Minister, as you've heard there in that briefing. Gayton McKenzie says that he needed more time, to consult, as well as allowing SA Rugby time to fully brief him on the proposal. So meanwhile, the EFF has expressed their disapproval of this deal. EFF member of the Central Command team, Nazir Paulsen, joins us now for more on the program. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Paulsen. So first of all, let's just get your immediate reaction to what the minister has just said. First of all, he says, well, going to these sporting events is his job. What's your reaction?
Well, I think the minister has to clear that up in Parliament. He's given us conflicting responses. But I want to speak about the sale of South African rugby. And I just would like to tell the minister he's made FIFA has got nothing to do with rugby. The governing body for rugby is the World Rugby. So it's not FIFA. But over and above that, I want us to deal with the issue of, if we want, a lot of people feel that rugby, and this was a negotiated settlement when they said let Springbok rugby belong to the whites. Rugby doesn't belong to the whites. It belongs to all South Africans. And I think the bigger debate should be what should be the brand of national rugby. And then once we've got that brand sorted out, we can see how that brand can be globalized. So in 2022, the New Zealand sold a 6% stake in New Zealand rugby. And they kept all the commercial rights in rugby. They only sold a 6% stake for $133 million US. We are selling a 20% stake for $75 million US. So there's a big difference. For 6%, they sold it for 75% more. And we mustn't devalue our brand or our sport this way. The South African rugby brand is far bigger. We've got we need to fix up our grassroots rugby, but I think we need to focus on other matters first, as opposed to looking for equity partners. So there's a bigger debate to be had, a brand for South African rugby that will make it more amenable to the majority of South Africans, especially those who were denied opportunity to play under the apartheid brand of Springbok. So the Springbok is one of those symbols, along with the apartheid flag, along with the stem, that should be done away with. So we are going to be unapologetic about that the national rugby should be rebranded long before we speak about looking for an equity partner. If we want to globalize a brand, we can't globalize an apartheid brand, which is a Springbok, right? We need to globalize a brand that is acceptable by the majority of South Africans post-apartheid. But over and above that, when one looks at
Mr. Paulsen, if I may also come in there, Mr. Paulsen. I mean, yes. I'd also just have to ask you as to why you would refer to the sport as an apartheid sport when we've seen what a unifying role the sport has actually played in South Africa in particular. And I will actually rewind to that point where we also saw when the Springboks came back with that win and they were doing their local tour. So maybe one might also put it to you and say, no, this is a sport that has actually unified South Africans more than anything. But I want us to narrow it back to some of the bones of contention when it comes to this deal in particular. What is the issue here with this deal?
Well, the with the deal, we are selling the marketing, we are selling the brand, we are selling just about everything. But over and above that, if we look at the makeup of the commercial rights company that will be set up to manage these affairs, the makeup of the commercial rights company is 3 people from SARU, and then Ackerley Sports Group has 3 people and the chairperson. So they, for 20%, they will control this particular commercial rights company. So the board will be 7 people, 3 from SARU and 4 from Ackerley Sports Group, which renders them in complete control of this particular company. But what that company then controls is everything commercial. So from branding, broadcasting, sponsorship, events, licensing related to rugby. And whereas the New Zealand sold a 6% stake for 75% more than what we are selling, or than what SARU is selling, because we wouldn't sell our brand like that. They're selling it, the 6% stake, and controlling all commercial rights, all branding rights. And I just think that the SARU are very poor negotiators when it comes to selling South African rugby. I didn't say that rugby is an apartheid sport. I said the Springbok is an apartheid symbol. There's a difference. We played rugby during apartheid. We played rugby after apartheid. We love rugby for apartheid. We love rugby after apartheid. The emblem, the Springbok, is an apartheid emblem. That's the difference. I want us to make that distinction. Nothing wrong with the sport. We love the sport. All of us in the EFF love rugby. But we are saying the rugby emblem is an apartheid emblem. Very big distinction that must not be conflated.
So also your party has accused the SA Rugby of secrecy around this deal. So why is the EFF of the view that board members will get massive bonuses for clinching this deal?
Well, it seems that even the minister himself has been aware of this deal and has not gone public with it. If this didn't come to light through the member unions, then we would not have known about it. It would have happened in secrecy. The minister would have been aware, SARU would have been aware, none of us would have. And when it comes to the minister, everything is very dodgy with him.
All right, let's wrap it up there. I wish we had more time to further have this conversation there. That is EFF member of the Central Command team, Nazir Paulsen, joining us there. Thanks very much indeed for having this conversation with us.